Before he even learned to read, David Bass was collecting specimens of aquatic wildlife on the Texas Gulf Coast, fascinated by their complexity and curious about how they evolved and behaved. His childhood wonder became a lifelong passion, one that led him to become a leading expert on aquatic invertebrates. For the past 36 years, Dr. Bass has shared that passion with students at the University of Central Oklahoma, where he is a professor of biology and curator of invertebrates. Dr. Bass teaches courses ranging from beginning biology and ecology to invertebrate zoology and aquatic entomology. He treats each class as if it were a new adventure, constantly revising his lecture notes, adding new content, and experimenting with new teaching strategies. The highlight of his courses are field studies, where students enjoy making observations in nature. Because of Dr. Bass's engaging teaching style and pure joy for his subject matter, many non-majors at UCO have changed their majors to become biologists. He mentors and encourages students to participate in research and curation activities, with more than 15 students serving as co-authors of his publications.
It sounds kind of crazy now, but I look back and some of my neighborhood friends, the kids I played with, I was the water professor. Even back then, that's what they called me. Who knows? Maybe it was a prophecy.
That's the basic water chemistry we do in the field.
So when we go into the field, you can tell that he's in his element. He gets so excited over little things, and I think like seeing him act that way, like out in the field, gets you like more excited to like be a part of the science community and be a biologist.
You don't have to be super elite or anything to understand and to make discoveries and to learn about nature. Everything's important and anybody can do it.
I'm told there are these Bassisms that are out there. And one of them is get out of your human skin and view life from the organism you're studying. That's important.
He always says like, you know, if you're looking for like a little mayfly, like you got to think like a mayfly, like where would you be?
He just gets so excited that it's almost as if he's discovering it too for the first time.
He never took anything for granted and was never satisfied with status quo. He's like, there's always going to be something else that I want to find.
And I believe that every once in a while in our professional and personal careers, we're fortunate enough to encounter individuals who not only through their technical expertise, but through their compassion, their friendship, their willingness to mentor, make monumental, foundational differences in who we are and what we do.
It's such a cliche today, so I almost hate to use the word, but it really is appropriate. Hopefully it transformed them in some way. That's what I hope. I hope I made a difference, a positive difference in their life.
Please welcome the recipient of the Oklahoma Medal for Excellence in Regional University and Community College Teaching. From the University of Central Oklahoma, Dr. David Bass.
Thank you. I am truly humbled and honored to be here. Teaching is part of my heritage. My father began his career in education as a high school science teacher. My grandmother spent much of her life teaching first grade. So it's not surprising that teaching is also what I do. It seems that I have spent just about my entire life in some formal education, some form of an educational environment. As a child growing up in Texas along the coast, I enjoyed sharing with others what I have observed or learned. I gave my first presentation at the young age of 5 years old to a group of my grandmother's first grade students during a field trip to Crystal Beach. There, I described to them the different kinds of shells that washed ashore, as well as some of the different painful stings that they could get from a jellyfish. Some of the shells that I collected almost 60 years ago are now deposited in UCO's biology department, natural history museum, and we still use them in classrooms today. If those first graders that were on that field trip, if they were college students today in one of my classes, I would try to use that experience to enhance the way they think about nature and then learn more about themselves. When I reflect on my long academic career, I realize that I've been extremely fortunate to have learned from so many exceptional professors and colleagues, as well as I had the support of the University of Central Oklahoma to help develop me as a teacher. Also, I have my wife Donna, who has shown constant love and understanding of me for the past almost 45 years since we were undergraduates together. Thank you to the Oklahoma Foundation for Excellence, and thank you to all who are involved in this ceremony.